As more of you might start to head back to work during this pandemic, we're asking questions about your rights in the workplace. I spoke with attorney Nicole Hynes with Van Kampen Law Firm, and she says about 40% of the calls to the firm now are from people with concerns about COVID-19 in the workplace. First, she shared some of the laws that ensure that you can get paid time off.
Congress passed the Families First Act a couple of months ago, and that provides about 2 weeks or 80 hours to a full-time employee of paid time off for reasons associated with health concerns for COVID-19. That being if the government has ordered them to quarantine, if they're directed to self-isolate by a doctor, if they're currently experiencing symptoms of COVID-19, or if they have to take care of a child whose place of care or daycare preschool has been shut down. And then Congress went a step further and provided an expansion on the Family Medical Leave Act, which also encompasses some of the COVID-19 concerns, where they would be entitled to an additional 10 weeks off if they have to care for a family member.
And then there's the issue of safety on the job. I asked her what your rights are if you don't feel that your employer is providing the items you need to protect you during the pandemic.
OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Act, provides workplace safety protections for employees. And under OSHA, there's a general duty clause that just says employers are required to provide a safe workplace. OSHA has provided some additional guidance since the start of the pandemic on what a safe workplace would be. And they've actually said that employers are obligated to provide PPE, which is the personal protective equipment, to their employees depending on the level of risk of the workplace.
Now, she mentioned risk there. She said that workers defined rather as very high or high risk are healthcare workers, transportation workers, or employees who work in a morgue. But here's how the majority of workers would be classified.
The rest of us are going to fall into a couple of different areas, either medium or low. Medium risk employees are those that have frequent contact within 6 feet with the general public. So we're, just generally speaking, those are going to be our retail workers, our grocery store workers, and those sorts of folks. And then the low risk are those of us who work in an office who are not frequently within 6 feet of a member of the general public.
So what should you do if you have an issue? Her advice is to start with your local HR department, contact your local OSHA office as well. Now, she also recommends that you make your complaints in writing and take notes. Keep very good records of important conversations. And so what should you do if you have an issue? Again, that is the list, including her advice. She also recommended, again, keeping track of all those conversations for your records.